I mentioned Sean Layden earlier. I'm going to mention him again. So he recently said Sony was lucky to survive the PS3 era. His full quote was, PS3 was Sony's Icarus moment. We had the PS1, the PS2, and now we're building a supercomputer, and we're going to put Linux in it, and we're going to do all sorts of things, and we just flew too close to the sun. And we were lucky and happy to have survived that experience, but it taught us a lot. Was curious your thoughts on that, because I look back at that generation and I look at just how much the 360 dominated, and I look at now today the PS3, how pretty much almost every PS3 in existence is a ticking time bomb with the cell processor that they thought would be the future, and it wasn't. Like, do you think that's pretty accurate that they were lucky to survive that gen? Because like, while there's a lot of great games, that $600 launch price tag, constant server issues and everything, I kind of get what he's saying.
I mean, I get it. And it's one of those where it's like, yeah, I mean, during that era, how many people did you know with a PS3?
Yeah. And it's crazy because it's still a high-selling console.
It's still a high-selling console, but it's one of those where it's like, I have a feeling a lot of those PS3s were bought like
well after the fact.
They were bought towards the end when it was like
the slim model
when it was people like me going,
yeah,
oh man, there's a lot of PS3 games I want to play. I guess I should buy a PS3.
And you probably bought the slim model. That's a lot cheaper.
But it's like, and that was kind of the thing is it's like, yeah, the 360 dominated, and nobody thought Xbox was ever gonna fail or like could ever lose. I mean, and then we saw what happened.
True.
We saw what happened and what has continued to happen.
Yep.
But it's one of those where, yeah, I mean, I'm glad they turned it around.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because PS4 was great.
It's like PS4 was fantastic. I love my PS5.
Yeah.
It's like I got so hooked into the Sony like during the PS4 era that it's weird for me to go back and play my Xbox now. Mm-hmm. Like even my Series X, it feels weird going to play it. I'm like, why am I not on my PlayStation?
Right.
Yeah, and it's kind of it is kind of funny that like during that era, if you ever talk to somebody about playing games, everybody knew you meant on a 360.
Yep.
Nowadays, it seems like playing game, like if you go to like hit someone up to play a game, I feel like most people consider it to be like PlayStation nowadays.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It's weird to like have been in both.
Yeah, because me and you, we have been on both sides.
It's like, yeah, because now people are like, hey man, what you got on what you playing on your PlayStation?
Yeah,
it's like what you got over there?
Yep.
Because I don't think about Xbox games hardly ever unless it's a big game.
Yep.
When I think of games, I think of PlayStation games.
Right. See, I'm actually more of an Xbox. I use my Xbox Series X a lot more. And it's honestly just because, like, PlayStation, they have so many amazing bangers that come out, for first property stuff, right? So, like, me being a physical guy, like, I know I'm always going to have PS5 games on my shelf. But with Xbox, like, I'm just going to play it on Game Pass. So, for me, the reason I play so much Xbox is that's where I'm playing all my third-party content. Playing Dragon Age on Xbox, playing Metaphor on Xbox, got Dragon Ball on Xbox. I played, Persona 3 Reload on Xbox because it came to Game Pass. Played Persona 5 Royal on Xbox. It came to Game Pass, and then I bought it later. Like, it's just, I don't know, I play my third party. I bought Resident Evil 4 on Xbox. That's just where I play my third party stuff, just so I can have stuff on my shelf. Because, I'm weird, and I like stuff on my shelf. It makes me happy. So, but yeah, no, I mean, it's very heavy PlayStation, obviously. The sales numbers say that alone. But I think it is kind of interesting to think about his comment, though, that they were lucky to survive the PS3 era, because I kind of agree to a point, even though the sales numbers say otherwise. But again, I feel like the sales numbers really came more when they got rid of the big brick model and they kind of started dialing it back and getting more slim models, especially from that price point.